Welcome to Local Live NJ, our weekly talk chat show. I'm Brian Doliner, and I'm here with my colleague Michelle Giordano.
Hi,
Hey,
everybody.
Michelle. How are you doing?
Good. How are you, Brian?
Good, good. So, before we jump into this week's news and talk about kind of the amazing things that have happened since last week, I wanted to share a little story about my week. So, this week we spent some time looking into preschools for my son.
Aw.
And we were at Far Hills Country Day looking at their program. And I mean, first of all, every program has like a slightly different theory of how they raise these, 2-year-old and 3-year-old children.
Right.
And they all sound amazing. So I don't know how someone can determine like what the right approach is to raising a child. But while we were there, we were able to watch the children, some of the older children, doing Cotton Eye Joe.
I love that. That's so much fun.
Yeah, it's hard to listen to. I've had the song stuck in my head literally since we walked around, and I was like controlling myself to not jump in and do it with these, 7, 8-year-old kids.
You totally should have gotten in there with them.
Yeah, well, maybe if they had been doing like a cha-cha or waltz, I might have not been able to control myself. But where did you send your kids?
I sent my kids to the Giving Nest in Martinsville, which is now moved to Pluckerman. But
I heard unbelievable things. Were you happy with them?
I loved them. I really did. I was very happy. It was a great experience. I was there for many years.
Yeah, we've been sending Jordan for the last year to the Albrook School, and we're really happy. But just like first parents, we just need to overthink everything. And we also looked at Treehouse in Basking Ridge, which people rave about, and their theory on preschool is play-based learning. So it's kind of give kids tons of toys and give them an environment where they can explore and learn through that. And in my mind, I just pictured my son like going crazy and playing with tons of toys, and I was like, he needs structure. Like in Albrook, they wash their dishes and put on an apron and put their toys back when they're done playing with it. And I was like, I'd rather foster this side of his personality.
Right, exactly.
But all these programs are amazing, and it's just like it's hard to pick.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with any of them in the area. They're all great.
Yeah. So over the last week, any local news on your end in Bridgewater?
So we did Monday have a meeting on the Center of Excellence, and there was supposed to be a resolution that was going to be voted on, which said that portion of the money from the pilot program would have to go to support students that were coming in from this new development into our school systems. They decided in the end not to vote on it, which I think was really kind of a smart decision, because they want to work with the Board of Ed and they want to work with the planning committee and have everybody come together to work out a resolution that really works best for everybody in the community.
And they wanted to give us time to get representatives from the developer and from the Bridgewater to come on and explain their theories and explain their position.
Exactly.
So now we have time to make that happen and really set up a forum where community can talk about community issues in a way that everyone hears each other out and it can spread to the full public.
Right, which is exactly what our goal is with this.
Yeah. So we're actually, just to update people, in the talks to make that happen. We've been talking to people on both sides, and we are hoping that we can pull that together in the next couple of weeks before this actually comes up for a vote. So on that note, I wanted to give a shout out to the local community forums that have given us a voice and allowed us to kind of share our message and our project and what we're doing, and to hopefully
very supportive.
Yeah, to allow us to reach the most number of local residents. So a thank you to the Warren Township Community Forum. A thank you to the Bernardsville Basking Ridge Community Forum. Welcome Home Bridgewater, Four Towns, Morristown, Long Hill. There's a ton of them. The only one I haven't been able to really share our message on is Bridgewater, Martinsville's community page, because I don't live in the town. And even though I live in Basking Ridge, that doesn't count apparently.
Well, unfortunately, I do live in the town and I can't get added as a member. It's crazy.
Well, okay. Then challenge out there to our viewers to help get me, Brian Doliner, and Michelle Giordano added on to the Martinsville Bridgewater page so that we can help share this message to all of the residents that live there.
Absolutely. Let's get it done.
Awesome. So, any other local Bridgewater news before I take over?
Yes. So have you been to 22 West Tap and Grill?
Is that the one that used to be where the office was?
It is.
Oh, cool. No, I have not been. I've wanted to go, but haven't.
Okay, well, it's great. It's got a really nice vibe. The food is great. They have great live bands. It's a really fun place to go. Cool. But what's so cool is that the owner is now going to be opening up a new gourmet deli in downtown Somerville.
Yes.
And it's going to be called Main Street Gourmet Deli. It's taking over the space where Tommy's Deli was at 62 West Main Street in Somerville.
So, I mean, that's awesome because any good deli is welcome in the area. Bakeries and delis are the two things that I'm like, we need good places.
Absolutely.
I'll give a shout out. Actually, yesterday you had your broker open and you brought the leftovers of the sandwiches from Biagio's to our office, and I went to town on those. And thank you to Biagio's and to you, Michelle.
Oh my God, Biagio's is delicious. Their bread is just to die for. And I have to tell you, have you ever tried their meatballs?
No.
Oh, their meatballs are delicious.
This show is amazing because every single week I have like tons of food that I need to try. So
that's true. This is awesome. A food show, right?
Basically, we've become a food show, and that's all I can think about. So speaking of meatballs, there's an event that goes on every year for 10 years now called Taste of Italy, and it's a spaghetti and meatball dinner that's in Long Hill Community Center in Sterling. It's coming up actually next month, March 9th, and it's put on by the Home for Good Dog Rescue. It's a fundraiser for them. They have more than 300 people, and we'll probably be spotlighting this event every week up until next month when it happens. We'd love to have the people from Home for Good Dog Rescue and the event organizers come on and chat about it so we can spread this message and make it a big success.
Yeah, it's so important. I actually used to foster some dogs for a rescue called Happy Paws, where they rescued beagles that were laboratory beagles, and at the age of about 1 or 2, they would take those beagles and adopt them out to homes. And the beagles were very well cared for in the laboratories, and they made wonderful pets. So it's always good. Adorable. You know, there's so many dogs out there that need good homes.
Were you able to survive that without adopting your own, or did you end up with a beagle?
So at that time, I had my Havanese and I had a beagle of my own. So I already had 2 dogs. And then unfortunately my beagle, he crossed over that rainbow bridge, but he was 18. So he lived a very good, long, full life. And then we ended up getting a Labrador retriever puppy. So I was not able to adopt one of the other dogs because I already had my hands full, but they were adopted out to great homes, and they're just sweet animals.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, so we'll definitely be pushing this event and making sure that we raise awareness so that anyone who wants to help save a dog or who wants to share their message has a platform to be able to do it locally.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Michelle, for joining me again and talking about what's new in Somerset County. And I can't wait to talk next week about everything that happens over the course of the next week.
Sounds good. Have a good week.
You too. Bye.
Bye, everybody.